Hi, this is CAD-CAM Lessons channel, and in this video I will show you how to design such a part in FreeCAD. FreeCAD is a truly free 3D CAD system that can be used both as a hobby and commercially. Anyone can freely use this system, but it should be noted that it is a specialized tool intended for technical modeling of parts with regular shapes. If you want to design such a part, that is various types of casings or parts useful in the home or workshop, FreeCAD can be a good solution. In this and other videos on my channel, you can learn the basics of FreeCAD, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe, and if you want to support this channel, you will find information in the description of this video on how to do that. Now we will go to FreeCAD and I'll show you how to design such a part. And when it comes to designing this part, we will create it step by step, gradually building the 3D model. Let's start a new parametric part. Select parametric part here. And we are creating a part in the part design workbench. We will start by creating a sketch. Choose the create sketch command and create a sketch on the XY plane. Select this plane, click on this plane with the left mouse button, and now this plane is the sketch plane and we will create a circle here. Select the circle drawing tool and draw a circle whose center will lie at the origin point of the coordinate system. Here, when you hover over the origin point, that point will change color, and when you click here with the left mouse button, the center of the circle will be constrained to the origin point of the coordinate system. And here, as the diameter of the circle, enter 50 millimeters and press enter to confirm. This is the first sketch, and based on this sketch, we will create the first fragment of the 3D solid. Close the sketch, click the close button, and based on this sketch, we will add a path. Select the path command, and I notice here that I created the sketch on the XY plane, but I wanted to create this sketch on the XZ plane. Therefore, I cancel this and we can delete that sketch. We can create a new sketch on the XY plane, or we can change the plane of this sketch. And here, when you click on the sketch, we have attachment parameter, and click here and then click these three dots, and here select the plane that will be the sketch plane. Check the XZ plane and uncheck the XY plane. That only the XZ plane is selected, and click OK. Now this sketch is on the XZ plane and we add a path. Select this operation and it will be created in this plane, and let's add a path of 50 millimeters here. Enter a value of 50 and when you click the left mouse button next to this box, the view will be updated. And let's also select the symmetric to plane option so that the path is created symmetrically from the sketch plane in both directions, and click OK to confirm. This way we created the first fragment of the 3D solid, and now we will create another sketch. Select create sketch, and now as the sketch plane, let's choose the XZ plane, which we should have selected earlier, but in the meantime you learned how to change the sketch plane. And here we will create a rectangle. Select the rectangle drawing tool and choose the centered rectangle command. With this command, we create a rectangle by defining the center of the rectangle and the corner of the rectangle. As for the center of the rectangle, place this point on the y-axis. When you hover over the y-axis, that axis will change color, and now when you click the left mouse button, the center of the rectangle will be constrained to the y-axis. And as for the dimensions of this rectangle, we can specify them now or we can determine them later at another moment of the sketch creation, but let's do it now. Here for the first dimension, enter 30 millimeters, press enter, and for the second dimension, enter 50 millimeters and press enter to confirm. Right-click to cancel the rectangle drawing command, and this rectangle is colored white. We have information about 1 degree of freedom, and this sketch is not constrained. This means we can change the position of this sketch. In this case, we can change the position of the sketch along the y-axis. We can no longer change the dimensions of this rectangle. We cannot change the position along the x-axis. We can only change the position of this rectangle along the y-axis, because the position along that axis is not yet defined. We can do this, for example, by specifying the distance of some point of the rectangle, for instance, from the origin of the coordinate system. And we can also do this by constraining that corner of the rectangle to the edge of the solid. But to do that, we need to use reference geometry. We can create such geometry using the create external geometry command. Select this command and now select the edge of the model that will be the reference geometry. Click on this edge, and here a reference geometry has been created based on the edge of this solid. Now right-click to cancel the reference geometry creation command. And as you can see, in this view, the reference geometry is not visible. To make this geometry visible, we need to switch to section view. Click this button, view section, and now we are in a view on the sketch plane. As this solid was blocking the sketch plane a bit, that's why this geometry was not visible, and the part of the rectangle that was inside this solid was also not visible. Now we will do it this way. We select this corner and select this line. And when selecting geometry in the sketcher, we do it simply by clicking on that geometry with the left mouse button. We don't need to hold any key, we don't need to hold the shift key, we don't need to hold the control key. We simply click the left mouse button on the geometry we want to select. Now let's select the coincident constraint. And this constraint will make that point constrained to that line. That is, it will be constrained to that solid because that line is the reference geometry to the solid. And close the sketch. And based on this sketch, we will add a path, select the path operation, and we add a symmetric path to the plane. And as for the length of the path, here we can enter a value from the keyboard, or we can scroll the mouse wheel and that value will change. And let's add a path of 30 millimeters here and click OK to confirm, and in this way we created something like this. Now we will create another fragment of the solid. We will create another sketch. Select create sketch command. And here we will also create a sketch on the XZ plane. Select this plane. And now we will start by creating reference geometry. Select the Create External Geometry command. And as the reference geometry, select this edge. Right-click to cancel the active command. And now click the View section button to switch to the Sketch Plane view. And select the Circle Drawing tool and draw a circle so that the center of the circle lies on this line. If you place the center of the circle close to the center of the line, then the symmetry constraint should automatically apply, which will position the center of the circle exactly at the midpoint of that line. Click here and as for the diameter, enter 35 millimeters and press enter. And as you can see, a symmetry constraint has been applied automatically, positioning the center of the circle at the midpoint of that line, symmetrically between those points. The geometry of the circle is green and the sketch is fully constrained. Close the sketch. And based on this sketch, we will create a path. Select the path operation. And here, check the option symmetric to plane. And as for the length of the path, enter 35 millimeters. And click OK to confirm. Next, we will create another sketch. Select Create Sketch. And this time, as the sketch plane, select the YZ plane. Now switch to the sketch plane view, and here we will briefly return to the previous view. Click the view section icon again, and now select the Create External Geometry command, and as reference geometry, select this line. And now right-click to cancel the Create External Geometry command and click the View section icon to switch to the sketch plane view and select the Circle Drawing tool, and just like before, place the center of the circle near the center of this line so that the symmetry constraint is applied automatically, and enter the diameter of the circle as 15 millimeters and press enter. And the symmetry constraint has been applied automatically. Close the sketch, and based on this sketch, we will add a path. Select the path operation, and at first glance, nothing is visible. No solid has been created, and we will gradually add a path so that you can see how it works. As you can see, a solid is slowly appearing, and let's add a path of 25 millimeters here, and in this case we are creating the path in one direction. Click OK, and we have another fragment of the solid. This is how it looks, and as you can see, we are using simple operations, simple shapes, and slowly building the 3D model. Now we will proceed to create holes. Select Create Sketch, and we will create sketch on the YZ plane. Here we will create a hole that passes through the solid in this place. Switch to the sketch plane view. Click the view section icon and select the circle drawing tool. Draw a circle with a diameter of 10 millimeters whose center will lie at this point. Here I accidentally slightly rotate the view, but if I click on the view on this cube, The model view will be corrected, although at this moment it doesn't matter much. Close the sketch, and based on this sketch we will create a hole that passes through the entire solid. We will do this using the pocket operation. Select this operation, and here we will define the length of the pocket. We can enter a value from the keyboard, or we can scroll the mouse wheel to see how it will look. Here, this pocket is being created from this side, but we can also do it in such a way that we select the pocket type, and here we choose through all, so that the pocket is created through the entire solid. In this case, the pocket is created in one direction from the sketch plane, and if we check the symmetric to plane option, this pocket will be through the entire solid in both directions from the sketch plane. And click OK to confirm, and we have something like this. And now we will create another sketch. This time we will create sketch on the face of the model, because besides the fact that we can create sketches on the basic planes of the coordinate system, we can also create sketches on the faces of the solid. Select this face and select create sketch. And here we will draw a circle whose center will lie at this point. It will be a circle with a diameter of 30 millimeters. Okay, close the sketch. And based on this sketch, we will create a hole in this solid. We will do this using the pocket operation. Select this operation. And here for the type, select through all. And in this way we created a pocket through the entire solid, and click OK. Next, select this face, and on this face we will create a sketch. Select create sketch, and here we will also draw a circle, but I would like the center of the circle to lie at the center of this face. To do this, first we need to create reference geometry. Select create external geometry command, and select this edge of the solid as reference geometry. Now if an active command is running, you don't need to cancel it before selecting another command. You can just select the next command. In this case, select the circle drawing tool and draw a circle whose center will lie at this point. Set the diameter of the circle to 20 millimeters and close the sketch. And based on this sketch, we will create a hole in the solid. Select the pocket operation, and here as the operation type, select through all and click OK. This way we have something like this. Now we will create another sketch. We will create sketch on this face. Select this face and select create sketch. And here as before, we will start by creating a reference geometry based on this edge. Select create external geometry command and select this edge. And now select circle drawing tool and draw a circle with a diameter of 8 millimeters, whose center will lie at the center of this face. Close the sketch, and based on this sketch we will create a pocket. Select the pocket operation, and as for the pocket operation I would like to create a hole up to this face. We have this type, we have the type to first. However, in this case it won't work. We also have up to face parameter, and here I could select some face to which I want to create this pocket, for example this face, but in this case that also won't work. Here if I slightly change the offset value, this pocket will be created here, but it won't be created here. I don't know why that is. It might be a bug in FreeCAD, but we can easily deal with it. Let's return to dimension type and simply set the depth value of this pocket. We can enter, for example, 20 millimeters here. Okay, so that we can be sure that this pocket will be through, and click OK. And this way we created something like this. Now we will add fillets to selected edges. With the Ctrl key, select this edge and this edge. OK, and select the fillet command. And add a fillet with a radius of 3 millimeters and click OK. Then select this edge and with the Ctrl key select this edge and add a fillet with a radius of 1 millimeter and click OK. And when it comes to adding fillets, sometimes situation may arise where we cannot add fillet to selected edge. I tell you this so that you know that such situations can simply occur, and it does not necessarily mean that you are doing something wrong. It could just be a bug in FreeCAD. And let's also add fillets to this edge, and here as you can see, this edge seems to consist of two segments, but let's see what happens if I only select one segment. I select this edge and I choose the fillet command, and here the fillet is added to the entire edge. And let's add a fillet with a value of 1 millimeter and click OK. In a similar way to adding fillets, the chamfer operation works, and when it comes to chamfer and fillet operations, we can add chamfers to edges just as we added fillets to edges. We can also add chamfers to one or several edges and select the edges to which you want to add a chamfers and select the chamfer operation and specify the dimension of the chamfer and click OK. And as for these operations, the chamfer and fillet operations, we can also select a face or several faces, and based on the selection, chamfers or fillets will be added to all edges of the selected faces. Select this face and with the Ctrl key select this face and select the chamfer operation and click OK. This way we created something like this. So as you can see, step by step, using very simple and basic shapes and simple and basic operations for creating 3D solids, we have created this model. And to create 3D models in FreeCAD, you often need to approach it in a way that you build the model in small fragments. And we will finish here. Thank you for watching and please subscribe to this channel.